Hey,
Great. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. Depending on where you are joining us from. So I am joining from Canada and it's morning here. I think it should be morning or afternoon. And somebody like those who are joining from Nigeria, they will be in their evening. And this is Academic Mentorship Cafe. This is a voluntary mentorship group that we provide to prospective international students. And our goal is to make sure that everyone has the right information to be able to get that scholarship that you have always dreamed of. And this is our first meeting for the year, and we are hoping to get the best out of it. So in this meeting, as you saw on the um, advert, we are going to be talking about graduate school application in the world of AI. So going by the topic, you can see that it is packed with a lot. And our goal is not just to finish the topic in one section. So we are looking at making it a series. So if you didn't get much today, which is more like the first of it, don't don't be left out. Don't feel left out because we are going to be having more of it as the year runs by. Because we think that in graduate application, the use of AI or the correct use of AI opens a lot of doors and it increases efficiency. But it appears that not a lot of people are using it, or not a lot of people even know how to use it correctly. So we are opening this section to be more like a panel discussion. We have invited some of our scholars who will say one or two things about what they do with AI when applying for graduate schools. So if you have if you're just joining us, welcome. Sit tight. We'd like everyone to mute themselves unless you want to ask a question or unless you are part of the host and you want to talk, right? So let's just maintain that so that we'll be sharing this video and we want the quality to be good. So we have I'm seeing some of my co-hosts here, my panelists. So I want to just welcome them officially. So Folarunsho, I see Folarunsho Oluwajuwon, which we call FJ. That's his WhatsApp name. You're welcome. I see John Esso. I hope I'm pronouncing that well. John Esso, you're welcome. Is a motivational speaker. He's a motivational speaker. If you ever lack encouragement, follow John. If you lack encouragement and you want to be encouraged, follow John. So we have Dr. Ann Cliff here. She'll be speaking also. So it's a balanced group. We have everyone. Then we have I will also be I'll be chiming in once in a while. Then we have the last person on our list. There will be just gonna get the last person that I have. This is not a complete list because as we go on, so people will be showing up. We have Famakinwa John. So we have two Johns. We have Famakinwa John. I've not seen him though, but he's also gonna. Oh, I think I see a name like that. Okay, so it's gonna be part of our panelists. So before we go on, I just want to talk about a little thing that has happened in the world of AI. Sometime last year, it was almost like a crime to say that you are using AI for something. It was almost like don't don't just say it. Don't just say it. But the more we start, the more we're hiding. Everybody's just cutting the cake from their side, cutting the cake. It has become a global thing that we cannot run away from. Just that we have to know how to use it and where to use it. So AI, which is artificial intelligence, it has many parts now. And in graduate application, it can be used visually for everything, as will be seen in this discussion. So we felt like, why are we going to be wasting much time doing things or looking for information that is already there or that can be gotten at the click of go on any of the AI tools? So in this panel discussion, our panelists will tell us what type of AI tool they have been using, and if time permits, we'll be seeing what exactly they used each of that AI tool for. For me, I'm very much familiar and particular with using ChatGPT. I think there are some people who might be using some specific ones, but I am not, there's nothing I've been looking for that I've not gotten using ChatGPT. So looking for something else has not really caught my mind. Maybe I can learn something new from our co-panelists or from those who are attending this section. Just something, a housekeeping thing. On the chat, we have links to our LinkedIn page. If you want to get more updates from us, you can follow us on our LinkedIn page where we share information about scholarships. Then we also have WhatsApp group. So the links to our WhatsApp group are also there. So if you want to join any of our groups, so that you also join a community of like minds where we take questions, we provide answers, things like that. So that is what I have. So I'm going to be opening the section now, and I will start with a question, and any one of us can go. John, Folarunshaw, I think Dr. Ann wants to go last. Hopefully we'll see how that goes. So, okay. And I also I want it to be demonstrational, like as much as possible. If you want to share your screen to demonstrate something, feel free to do that. Kelechi, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that for those just joining, we also have a link in the group where you can ask questions and we can put your question up on the screen. Alternatively, I can just quickly share a QR code, but I'm guessing you would use your phone to join or your laptop to join the group, so you might not be able to scan the QR code at the same time. But I can just show that just in case anyone wants to use that, medium.
Great. So before I invite I throw the question to the panelists, I just want to break the graduate application process that are most useful into maybe two. I know there are more. For any graduate application process, remember the first thing that you want to search for opportunities. Where is that scholarship? Where is that professor who is having funding? That is one place, right? Then another thing is, after you have seen that person or that potential supervisor, the next thing that comes to mind is preparing your documents. So I feel like these two areas are the important areas that we are going to be stressing on, how we can use AI to facilitate, to enhance our application process. The first one will be searching for opportunities. Then the next one, which if time permits, we can go into, will be preparing our application documents. So those are two areas I identified for now. There are other areas. So our panelists, have you used AI before in your graduate application process? That is the first question. Have you used any of the AI tools in your graduate application process? This question will go first to, let's go for John first. Short answer. Unmute yourself and the floor is yours. It's like you're spotlighting yourself. Maybe spotlight the person who is talking, right?
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Yes, I've actually used it. I use it a lot. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Should I go ahead and explain how I use it?
I was thinking that she said she bought fish for you.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you. I think that is enough for now. Maybe just to add it up, maybe can you tell us, just list one or two that you've used? Just the big name of it.
Yeah, I actually use ChatGPT. I use Zero GPT to check the percentage of AI content, like the percentage of AI in my content. Then I also use Quibo too. Then I also have another paraphrasing tool that I use. But those are the three that I use the most.
Perfect.
ChatGPT, Zero GPT, and Quibo. That very
Okay.
powerful.
Perfect. So let's go to our next panelist, John. I'm sorry, Folarunsho. Have you used any of the AI tools? If yes, which of them?
Yeah, definitely. I've used AI for various stuff, but basically I use ChatGPT. I also use Scribot. I use Humanized AI. There's one AI called Humanized AI. You can actually use it to to humanize, text. And I also use some other paraphraser tools like, random paraphraser tools online. But basically, I use ChatGPT. Most times, I just tell ChatGPT, can you help me search for AI software I can actually use to paraphrase, this particular, and ChatGPT gives me what I actually want. And you can actually use ChatGPT to look for supervisors that are actually doing something in line with your own research. It's a very good tool to use. I can always explain how to go about it much later.
Thank you very much. Casey, could you spotlight anybody who is speaking? So once that person is speaking, you spotlight them. That will make so that when the video goes out, people will tie the voice to the person, right?
Great.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much, Folarunsho. So it looked like ChatGPT is coming up as the boss here. Dr. Ann, are you free to take that question now? The question is, have you used ChatGPT? If yes, which one for your graduate application? Or have you used any of the AI tools? Everybody, please mute yourself, please, if you're not speaking. Okay, it looks like Anne she actually told me that she's on transit, so maybe she's not available. So let's go on. So like I said, from our panelists, it looks like ChatGPT is coming up. Then the tool for paraphrasing is coming up, and the Humanized AI is coming up. So there are different tools. So it's just for you to know what you want, right? You don't have to use all of them. And one thing I like about it is that you don't even have to know, if you can use Google, right? If you can use Google, you can use any of those tools. Okay. So let's focus on ChatGPT. And Folarunsho said something. He said that you can use it to search for professors. And that is something that I wanted to demonstrate here. Maybe if I start, then you can put your clue, right? You can give a clue of what you do. For those who are new to using ChatGPT, if you go to your browser, so if I'm allowed to share my screen, I'll share my screen and go to go to any browser, because we are making this section believing that there are some people who have not used any of this AI tool before. So if it's too basic, don't be annoyed, because we just feel like some people, this might be their first time, right? So don't be annoyed about us being too basic. So share my screen. I'll share my screen and see what we do from here. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. One, share. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. A Microsoft Word document.
Oh, a Microsoft Word document?
No, it's a Google Doc.
Google Doc, yeah, sorry.
That have a title of using GPT, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'll go straight to a different browser. Great. Okay. So if I go to a different browser, can you see my new browser now? Can you see a new browser?
Yes,
from
sir.
your side? Okay, good.
Yeah,
So if you do, if it's your first time, just type chatgpt.com and hit enter. Right? Once you do this, if you have not logged into ChatGPT for the first time, this is what you will see. There are two options here. You can decide to, if you look at the right corner, you can see sign up. You can decide to sign up and get an account, your ChatGPT account. And on that sign up, most times you can tell you to sign up with maybe your Google account, things like that. And you can do that. The good thing about that is if you sign up and you're using a signed version, it saves your history. So whatever you do on ChatGPT today, you can go back to it tomorrow and see that it's saved there, right? But sometimes, depending on what I want to do, sometimes I sign in, sometimes I don't sign in. So if you don't want to sign in, it's also fine. Just go straight on where it says message ChatGPT and start typing. And what I suggest, I already put some notes down. What I have as my note, just start the way it is in your mind. That thing you want to say, just start it in your mind. Don't even think about the prompt, because ChatGPT works on prompts. What the prompt you give to it is what it's going to use to search. But don't be too worried about the how creative your prompt is. Once you start, you can modify. So let me work with FEJ. FEJ, what are you going to type now? I want to search for a professor, right? And you say we can use ChatGPT. So let's practicalize it. So,
Yeah,
so what do you want me to type?
So you can type, can you give me a list of supervisors?
List of
Supervisors.
Supervisors. Yeah.
In
department.
the university,
Okay.
okay, in the Department of Biomedical Engineering.
In the Department of Biomedical Engineering in
McGill.
the
University of Toronto, for example,
okay.
or McGill.
In the University of Toronto. And one thing about it, even with this, there are some errors in my spelling.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even bother about it because ChatGPT will understand it. But let me correct it because let me just correct this, right? But even if you don't know how to correct that error, which I think you should know because you're applying to graduate school, right? So, of Toronto. So let's leave that there. Unless
that is working. You can actually trim it down, but you can say something like that is working on tissue, can give it maybe a more precise area of interest. And it's
Okay.
actually going to bring out something very, very worthwhile for you.
Yeah.
But you can
I
also leave
want
it.
us to. Folarunsho,
Sir, yes, sir.
I want us to start with something that is because
Easy.
for you, you have experience, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's say this is a
Yes.
first person who has not used it. They want to start, and this what
Yeah.
comes to their mind. Let's say
Yeah.
now we have specified the department and the school, but let's say list of supervisors in the Department of Bioresources, in the Department of Biomedical Engineering in Toronto.
Can I say something? Can I say
Yeah,
something?
go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
ChatGPT is like a conversational AI software. So can you put that can you in front? It's more or less like you asking your friend question, like, can you give me a list of, supervisors in the Department of Biomedical Engineering in the University of Toronto? It's actually still going to give you the same thing, but, you're more or less like, it's called prompt engineering. So you're more or less like, giving it questions or, prompt to actually give out something, some form of response. Let me say it like that.
Perfect. I will do that. I will do that. So I'm going to put can you there, right?
Yeah.
But let's try something. Let's use as it is. Then once it gives us response, we'll update it. We'll put can you. I want to show our audience that you don't need to actually be in any pattern. Just have that willingness to start something.
Yeah.
Start it crude. I don't want to follow what Folarunsho said. I will follow it after my crudeness, right?
Yeah.
Start crude, then you move on from there. That is where you have to also be knowledgeable on your own side. So chat GPT doesn't make you that lazy because you have to know what you want to be able to use it. So let's hit enter, or you can use this arrow. There's an up arrow here. I'll click that up arrow, or you can click enter on your computer, anyone. So I'll hit the up arrow and watch. Okay, look at what it did. Can everybody see my screen? It says, I don't have the ability to provide real-time or specific contact information of supervisors at the University of Toronto's Department of Medical Engineering. However, so it has shown some weakness there. However, I can guide you on how to find this information, right? Here are a few steps. So it gives you a step. Visit the official department website, and it provides a link there, right? It says research faculty members. When you get there, you look for research faculty members. Then you follow all this information it has given to you. So this is the response of ChatGPT. And this is the structure. Every time you hit send on enter on ChatGPT, this is the structure. It repeats what you want it to do, and it gives you the response, and it tells you if you need more help, that is there to help. You should feel free to ask. That is where the power comes. Like what Folarunsho said, it is a chat, it is a conversation. It doesn't end with your first prompt. So let's go back to what Folarunsho said. Let's say we want to modify this. So we want to put the So I'm going back. I know I can edit that and just put it, but let me do it again. So can you? So you said put can you, right?
Yep.
Is there any other modification you would like to add?
Okay, let's see what this is like. Let's see what this is going to give us.
Okay, perfect.
Real-time access. So you have to, what you're going to do is that it's actually trying to like scout for the page, but it cannot get the, the real-time data. So remove that recruiting and just leave it like that. Like, can you give me a list of supervisors in the Department of Biomedical Engineering in the U of T?
Okay.
Just,
I think because I'm not in the signed version, you can actually edit that thing. They don't have to be copying and pasting as I'm doing,
oh, okay.
right? So can you
Yes.
list what?
Remove
Supervisors in
recruiting for,
Okay. I'll remove recruiting for PhD.
yeah.
Perfect.
What I basically do is to just, tell the software that is ChatGPT to maybe probably give me a list of supervisors in a particular department that is working on specific area of research. So whether they are recruiting or they are not recruiting, it's not
gives you
really
the
much
list.
of it. You get, it just give me the
Okay.
list. And what I do is to just, copy their email and, and what they're working on. I'll see a brief note on what they're working on. And I try to, read up on it and just draft a very good mail. You can also draft a mail for you if you want. So
Yeah.
I'll send it to them.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
Okay, so let's hear from John. John, how would you modify this? How would you modify this because so far so good is it's taking us to the website. You want us to go to the website and do our search, but how will you modify this if you are the person doing this?
The way you fucked me yesterday, very hard like this.
Just will integrate already. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, I think like I actually tried this process. I tried this process before, but I realized it wasn't giving me like what I need. Like it wasn't giving me the full list of all the professors I needed. So what I did was just to
Good evening. I need to ask you some questions, please, so to be able to ascertain what you're talking about. So kindly pick Michael.
Can I continue?
Yeah, John, go ahead.
All right. So I realized that it wasn't giving me like enough information. Like it wasn't gathering all the list of professors in my own area. So what I did was just to do some manual work, then use ChatGPT to just to do the finishing. So what I did was that with ChatGPT you can just say, okay, the list of all the schools. You can just type a prompt of, okay, list of all the schools in the US that offer civil engineering. You can say list of 100 schools in the US. Right? That's the first thing, because when it comes to graduate school application, the first thing you want to know is that, because we have a lot of schools in the US and in Canada. We have over 1,000, right? In Canada too, I mean, probably have over 205.
Okay,
So, and
I'm gonna share. Yeah, John, I think you're very spot on. You're very
Prof,
spot on. Yeah.
hello, Prof. If you don't mind, I can actually share my screen and just, give you a little bit of like sneak peek into how I use, ChatGPT to do my work for me.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna do
Because
that.
mine, I've logged into yours is not logged in. So mine has
True.
like,
True.
So I think that is why you're getting this.
Sure. So that is something that I also want us to know, that if you're new to ChatGPT, what you're seeing on mine might be what you'll be seeing, because with time, ChatGPT learns you. It learns what you're doing, right? And it starts to modify response to suit you, right? So that is something that like I said, we are showing people from the raw here. I'm gonna allow you to share your screen, but I want to share what I just did before we started this. So I don't know if you're seeing a page that is on my screen now. I did a search. I did a search about, so I went to search for, I said, so I searched for list 20 universities in the US that have fully funded scholarship for international students for fall 2025. And it gave me this list. So it said, here are 20 US universities that are known for offering fully funded scholarship for international students. For me, this list wasn't really helpful, right? It wasn't really helpful because there was no link. So I have to manually start looking for the link. why am I showing this? I want you to see that ChatGPT is a conversation. If you don't like what it gave to you, go to the next level. What did I do? I said, add a brief detail about the funding for each school, right? And it went on and it did this improvement. So from here, that is just the list of school, it added this. When I went through this, it wasn't also helpful, right? It wasn't helpful. Then I went again, I said, add more details, including link to the funding. That was my third prompt now. And look at what it did. It added that detail and provided link to the funding. Link to the funding. So here, I cannot click on the link. But one thing we should be careful about, if I click on this link, I clicked on this link, I went to the page, and I did not find the page. So something we should be careful about ChatGPT. But when I went to the other link, there's another link here, this Stanford Financial Aid. I clicked on it and it opened. You can see. So it took me to their financial aid link. Again, it's generic, but at least it has streamlined what I'm looking for. I can start looking for application, applying for aid. I can go to graduate school here, graduate student, and see what they have there, right? So what I wanted to share is to let you know that you can grow, you can build your prompt from scratch, right? You can build your prompt from scratch and get the best of ChatGPT. Can you mute the person, please? So now I will allow John to share. I will allow Folorunsho to share his screen and show us what he's doing from his end. So I will unshare my screen. Allow. Perfect.
We can't hear you, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So like I said earlier, you can actually use ChatGPT to find professors, that are doing something in line with your own area of interest. So I'm just gonna say, can you search for professors in at McGill University? That's my school. At McGill University, working on robotics research. Then it's actually, so you can see, it brought out a list of professors, actually doing something in robotic research. And this is the chair professor. So what you just do is this is the lab, the lab group. You can actually copy the link by right-clicking and open, and you open the link in another window. So this is the lab group website, or the lab website, and you can actually see some of the past students, some of the current students, the professor that is actually carrying out research, that is the PI. And you can also navigate through this page, check what their research is all about. It's all about, different part of robotics. And you can check their studies, publications, and so on and so forth. So you can go to the next professor, do the same thing. And you can also refine this particular search. Let me take this thing. You can refine this particular search by saying, can you check if there is any opening in their labs? So you can see what it says. Why specific openings in the lab of Professor Gregory, David, and Joel, and Young Moon are not explicitly listed online? Here are some avenues you might consider. This particular lab is led by this professor, and the lab focuses on, you can just see a brief, intro into what the lab is actually working on. And you can also explore, same thing, explore the lab websites and just look at other labs too that your own area might actually fit in. And I'm just going to try that again for my own, the lab I currently work. Can you give me a list of supervisors currently working on composite materials at McGill University? And then you will find that the professors here, the two professors here currently working on composite materials happen to be, my professor and my supervisor and co-supervisor. So what you can do, there's another professor again in mining that's currently working on, biocomposites of materials from renewable resources. So you can just, check, open link in new window, look at the particular supervisor's biography, check what the supervisor is working on, and see how you can actually craft. You can also use ChatGPT to craft a mail. Can you craft a code email?
For Laurenshaw,
Sir?
yeah, let's deal with this searching. We're gonna get to that, right? Now we're okay.
You're muted, sir.
Oh, now we are still looking at searching and getting information. Yeah, so.
Okay, cool.
Sure. Do you want to also maybe try another search for our audience? Maybe try a search that shows schools that have application fee waiver for fall 2020 for fall 2025. Maybe list 20 universities in the US or 20 schools in the US that waive application fee for international students. Let's see what it's going to give us. 20 universities that in the US that waive application fee for international students. We're just trying to make you see the possibilities that is within your fingers.
Applying to multiple US universities can become costly due to application fees, okay? However, several institutions either do not charge these fees or offer waivers. So you can see a list of schools that actually give application fee waiver. Harvard University, Yale University, MS College, Dartmouth College, MIT.
I want to do something. Now we have this list. It looks like it's too much. I don't want to go to all the schools in the US. I want to just be specific. I want to say, are any of these schools in Texas?
Okay.
Yeah, just add that. Are any of these schools in Texas?
Oh,
Let's say I have a particular interest that I want to school in Texas. My brother is there or my family is there. So I don't want to go to any school. I want to focus on Texas. So
yeah, the schools in Texas from the list that are waiving application fees: Rice University and Texas Women's University. So
if you
it's
look at it,
actually,
it's at the end, it says, if you'd like more details, guidance, or further research, let me know. That's also something you can say, yes, please. If you put yes, please, let's see what it's going to say. Just type yes, please.
additional universities in Texas that offer application fee waivers: Texas State University, TSU. Beginning spring 2025, Texas State University offer application. Can you see this is a very good information. From spring 2025, Texas State University offers application fee waivers for first-time freshmen, transfer and returning students based on submission of FAFSA data, including Pell Grant eligibility. That's nice. But international students are not eligible for this waiver and are required to pay. Can I get a waiver by contacting the graduates? Yes, many universities allow applicants to request an application fee waiver directly by contacting the graduate coordinator. And he gave me, some steps on how to actually do that. I think that is actually very nice to know.
Okay, let's get John. John, do you have anything to add in this type of search? Or any of our panelists? Do you have all? Maybe we can also take questions. Does anybody have? Because there's so much we can show you, right? But this is just a tip into what you can do. And this will spur you up into the possibility that you don't have to wait again. Information is just at your fingertip, right? Yeah, John, if you have anything to add, maybe can we streamline this search a little more? What type of questions should we ask again? Or what other tricks do you use?
I have a what's it called? In the next section, for the search now, I think he has done most of the job. EFG has done most of the job when it comes to the search now. But when we move to the next section, I have a lot to share actually.
Good. Okay. Casey, how are we doing on time?
Yeah,
Casey, how are we doing on
have
time?
about 20 minutes more.
So can we take questions for this section? And if possible, like I said, this is a series. This is not the ending. If John and Florencio and other panelists agree with me, this is already enough for our viewers to brood with, to play with. Then we can put the next section where we'll now look at preparing your application document. That is the meat, right? That's the meat. So we can have that, so we don't overload we don't have a big video that is difficult to manage. So we can take questions from here and see how it goes.
Okay, we have two hands raised. Shavia and Nathaniel. Yeah, Shavia, do you want to go? And then Nathaniel would go next.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Apologies, I actually joined this meeting late. I was working on something before I got the notification on my phone and I had to join in late. So I'm actually a network administrator, systems administrator, and currently I'm working on AI and machine learning, basically just in the breeding stage of it. So I want to apply to universities abroad to to get admission abroad to further on these things in data science, data engineering and AI, but I'm not able to get universities that are online. So I got information, I asked some persons. I have a couple of friends who are outside, one in the US, the other in the UK. But most of them says that countries like Portugal, Finland, and Iceland is quite affordable as regards to gaining admission, especially in the tech field. But the question is as to what are the criterias? Like I know, like what you were doing with the ChatGPT, I literally work with Copilot as my virtual assistant in my work because where I work as an IT director and an IT consultant. So basically, I work with ChatGPT and all these prompts. I've learned a lot from the prompts you've shown us because I've been having difficulties finding universities. This should be maybe the fourth, fifth time I'm trying to get an admission outside the country. Yeah, so someone presented this opportunity, and I was like, okay, fine. Let me go through these means, and from look of things, you all have that experience, and yes, I want to be able to see how this would play out for me. Hopefully, it should be it. So these are my questions basically. Portugal, Finland, Iceland. I don't know. Is it the best suggestion? And with what I have studied, I'm a graduate of computer science in Nigeria. Here, I schooled in Bio University, Kano. So with my qualifications so far, with my expertise in network and systems administration, with my knowledge of AI and machine learning, where would you think would be the best for me to put my sights on? Because it doesn't mean I don't know if is it that I don't know if we can actually apply to any country at random, or there are specific countries that would take you know students who want to apply for IT courses. Another thing again is regarding to some qualifications they keep mentioning. Because I asked a couple of friends that were already schooling abroad. They mentioned things like joining a forum of IT professionals, maybe for example, National Association of Computing Professionals or something like that. In back in time when I was in school, I was a member of GDG, Google Developer Students Club. I was also a member of Facebook Idea Sharing Club. When Facebook came to Kano and they were like, looking for people who will be able to drop ideas regarding development of their meta and all of that. So I was part of that. I've done a few boot camps and hackathons here and there with friends and other communities in school, basically. So they were like, if you have forums or able to document my work, like here, I built up a fiber optic network where there is 24 hours internet with the ISP from Starlink. We also run CBT. We build other minimal servers that run account systems here, database management systems. I built all of those things during my time working here. So he was like, I have to probably document, publish all of these projects, so that when I'm applying, I'm able to present that to a panel. I do not really get the constant picture, but based on what he said, quote for quote, yeah, is that if I'm able to be part of a forum like what I just said, um, a documentation or a publication of projects that I have done, maybe be it final year project or work project that I have done here, that could put me on edge because I was asking my CGP and I said I was a 2.2 student. I graduated with 3.0, and he said, okay, with that and all of these publications, it puts me on the same level as someone who is a final year student. So my question is, you now are the one telling us, what we can do, how we can search for these things. So I don't know. Is this all this information I've brought to your table now? Is it correct? Is it the way to go? Am I on the right track? Because sincerely speaking, this is the fourth time I'm trying to, I'm making applications for scholarships, study abroad, fully funded. Yeah, like that. So this is literally the third time. The fourth time, sorry. The third time was University of Regina in Canada, and that did not come through. And I tried NYUC, University, National New York University, that did not. Sorry, NYCU, sorry, not NYUC, New York City University, that did not work. So I don't know. I said, let me ask this question.
Okay. Xavier, thank you very much for your questions. So I just wanted to let you know that in choosing the country you want to go and school, there are a lot of things that people look at, right? There are a lot of factors you want to look at. We here, we cannot actually tell you which country you want to go to. That is going to be left for you. But what we encourage is that any country that will give you funding, right? Other factors as like their immigration policies, whether it's a safe country for you to live, whether the language, whether you are going to cope with the language, that will be left for you, right? We just encourage people that anywhere you can get funding, right? You go
Yeah.
there. But most times, the school, most of us we find that the US is a big market. The US is a big market for funded education. And most of our mentors, they are in the US, right? Also in Canada, we have some of our mentors in Canada. So maybe the conversation about what you just asked, we might want to discuss that in a more close group. I see that you have a very good profile, and I'll be interested to actually maybe review, because I think if you can put all those profile in your CV, and maybe from our next section, you can use some tool to highlight your skills, because it's all about highlighting your skills. You might be a better chance, you might be at a better chance to get opportunities even in the US, in Canada.
Right.
That if you
That's
try
cool.
again. That's why we are doing this session, so that people can optimize what they have, present it very well, and then go back to supervisors and see whether they're going to stand a chance, right? So we have a WhatsApp group you can join. We also have a LinkedIn page you can follow us, so we can talk about the specific things in that group. I don't know if that helps.
Please, yes, that would help. Please, if I can even be part of that LinkedIn group and the WhatsApp group, that can really help. Because for me, honestly speaking, where I work right now, if I should leave this place, honestly speaking, I don't think there is any because where I work is for a college, it's a Jesuit college. So basically, they put a lot of in funding to building technological infrastructure. This is the main reason why I had to come work here. And so far, I can say in Nigeria, it's technology is not something that literally everybody wants to. They don't that they don't have the money. They have the money, they have the funding, but they don't have the proper information as to should we key into it? Is it scam? Is it fraud? Because tech in Nigeria has completely been quoted as a fraudulent act. If you're an IT person, the first thing they see you as is a Yahoo guy before they even know exactly what part of technology you are involved in. So the whole thing, being a tech person, is quite difficult, I would say. As so far in the 5 years this is 2025, we're in a new year, so I would say in the past 6 years that I've been in the tech industry, it has been a very big problem. Even me myself, a lot of times I go out, I just try to keep things a bit simple with dressing and how I speak, how I relate, because I'm easily taken away as a Yahoo person, like easily. So I don't think that there's any place in the country right now that would be able to accommodate my profile. Not like I'm bragging it, but it's the fact. To ChatGPT, I've done a random check. Even in the country now, a standard network administrator does not work as a staying staff. Many of them are leaving the country to go get expertise, because if you are here, you will definitely be paid less than half of the international level of payment for every network
Okay.
or network or system administrator. Yeah.
Okay, Zadia. So like I
So
said, let's continue this very discussion maybe on our WhatsApp. Just if you can connect with me or any of our mentors on our WhatsApp group once you join there. That would be good so that we can take questions from others. We are almost running out of time, right?
Yes, I'm on the academy WhatsApp group. That is how I joined the meeting.
Perfect. So the next question, let's take from Nathaniel has been raising his hand. Nathaniel is one of our mentors. So when a mentor is asking question, you have to pay attention.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone that that's been making this work out, especially FJ and John. So what I wanted to add is concerning, I've not really used AI to do application, maybe because when we are applying to, we didn't really have something like this or the idea actually. But I just wanted to add something. Considering the large number of schools in the US and Canada, or even another country one would be considering, I think it would be nice maybe you go state by state as our mentor advised earlier. So maybe you go state by state, because if you try maybe getting professors from any particular area of research, it may be overwhelming because you can get professors from different states and all that. I know for US, we have over 400 universities and colleges. So I wonder how one will be able to organize that without getting overwhelmed. So you may just go state by state and streamline your search. I think it would be easier as well. And also know that the AI cannot generally give you everything. Just know that there are some drawbacks for some of them. I don't know. Nobody mentioned something like Perplexity AI too, something like that. I don't know if anyone has used it among the panelists. It's also something that one can use. It also functions like ChatGPT, and Grammarly as well is also used for paraphrasing, I think. So one can also consider those different platforms and see the one that works best, or sometimes one can work better than the other at some point, and can just switch in based on what you want. Thank you. That's just what I wanted to add. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nathaniel, for those contribution. I thought it was a question, but it's more like a comment. Thank you. Yeah, let's hear from Ambassador. And Kelechi, let us know if you have any question on the link that you shared, because it's 11 o'clock here and it's going to be 7 p.m. in Nigeria. So let's start rounding up. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. And good evening from Nigeria. If you can hear me, can I hear you, please? Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you.
We can hear you.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Yes, sorry, I'm in a dark room. There's no light here. That's the situation we find ourselves in.
We can't hear you again. Maybe your network.
So you cannot see me. I want to appreciate.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me? I was cut off first, but I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, all right. I want to say that I appreciate the organizers for this mentorship. I really appreciate it. My questions are three. One, considering so many persons who are using AI to write their CV, their SOP, do so many things, how can one, because when I look at some of these things, it seems the AI is still having the same pattern of the English setup, and that is what I may use, and that is what others are using. And could this not be one of the factors that our reviewers of our applications can quickly just maybe exempt some of us? That is one question. The second one is considering some schools that most of the schools are applied to, most of them will ask you to ask your school to send your transcripts to their site or send it to Wes, and Wes will also send it to them. And it has been so hectic. Some schools, you go here, most of the school cannot do that within the interval of time. What is the advice from your end? And finally, the third question, sir. For someone who graduated with a master, say 2018, what is the chance of such person for a PhD admission? Because some people are saying that the further the year of graduation, the limitation in consideration. So please, I also need advice on that. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. Does anyone? I actually want to. I don't want to be the only one that is responding, but I think we're running very short of time. For your first question, you talked about uniformity in writing because everybody is using AI. So I think what we are. I want us to address that in our next series when we're going to be looking at preparing your application documents with AI. Right, that is where we're going to everybody will show what they do, right? To see how they go away from that uniformity, right? There are some tools you can use to check the content of AI in your document, things like that. So I don't want to, if we put it here, to be too long. Is that okay? We'll address that in our next series, which we're going to advertise on our LinkedIn page and so on our WhatsApp page. So that is one.
Okay.
Then the second one is the MSc. Well, if you do your MSc, you finish your MSc in 2018 and you want to apply for a PhD in 2025. I agree that the longer the time, people start thinking what you were doing, but that will not be an issue if you can prove that you have been doing something. So let's say after your MSc, you've been working in research, or that's the professor wants to know what happened between that time. If you have been in academics within that time, maybe you're a professor teaching somewhere, you have been mentoring students in research, you have been doing research, that time will not count. But let's say you have been doing nothing within that time, or you just went into something, then it will be difficult to prove what you have been doing, right? I think that is where it is, where it will be an issue. Yeah. So I'll allow other panelists to say something. Then after that, then Dr. Ann Cliff, who is one of our panelists, will also say something. Then I think we'll close this section.
Yeah, I think I'll go first. I just want to chip in something. It doesn't have to be research, basically, for the guy that had his MSc in 2018 and he wants to go for his PhD in 2025. So sometimes, like, if you have reasonable work experience, for example, you have industry exposure in that particular area of interest. For example, maybe you want to get a PhD in composites engineering, and you've been doing something, you've been working in maybe companies that deals with material production, steel production, it's somewhat in line with your area of interest. So that way you can basically just, write those particular experience you've gained, document it very well on your CV, and try to put everything together and make your application. You are definitely going to get your PhD because of it's in line with what you want to do for PhD for your research in your PhD. So it doesn't have to be maybe you are in the academia, or you must be doing something in line with academics during those particular period of your gap year. But if you can show, like the way Prof said, if you can actually show that you've been doing something very, very worthwhile, I think it's a very good one. Yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I just wanted to contribute to what EFG said. Just like what he said, it doesn't really matter, right? The most important thing is what are you doing in that particular duration, because what they usually check in the US, not even in academics alone, right? Even in like even in the job market, is your gap, right? If you actually stop working at this particular time, what are you doing at this particular duration? You understand? So the most important thing is that since 2018, all the things you've been doing, are they in alignment to what you want to pursue in graduate school? You understand? So if it doesn't align, then that's where you're going to have issue. Because, for example, you're a civil engineer, you are working as a marketer. You understand? And you can put marketing on your CV as a civil engineer, because your research interest is trying to say, oh, I want to achieve this also thing. This is what I want to achieve, right? So how do you fill the gap for that marketing and that duration, right? You have to look for a way to put something that is related to that, like that dream you want to pursue, that research area, that research you want to conduct, and that problem you want to solve. So the year doesn't matter, just like what year it is, as long as you know how you do, you're working, you're doing your professional work, you're in your field, doing what you love, then you can, even in 2050, you can pursue your PhD. As long as, in fact, professors love that, right? They love people that actually have deep experience, deep professional experience, right? So it will even help you a lot, because now you've applied this, you've been in the industry, you've done that, and now you want to conduct research in that area. It will be very, very easy. So they love songs like that. I've seen professors that told me like that, like, oh, you have great professional experience, you have research experience. Then what do we need? We need some, if you can have professional experience mixed with research, then you are the best fit. Just the best fit, right? So it helps. There's nothing like it helps. It really is. But if you don't do what does, like if you do what is not aligned with that, that's when you're gonna have issues. Yeah. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So our last panelist, and after her, we're going to end the show because it's more than an hour already. So Dr. Ann Cliff, you're welcome. You can unmute yourself and right.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your network is breaking. Your network is.
I'm so sorry. I joined in late. I'm listening to. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. So I want to quickly speak to Xavier's question. He asked about documentation. I think documentation is important. Should I say a higher edge? Everything you've done, you said you've participated in boot camps, you've participated in hackathons. They are excellent opportunities, but do you have them documented? GitHub is a very nice platform as a tech person. For every project that you've worked on, it's good to attach them on your GitHub link. And then when we are submitting applications,
I have that.
You don't want to submit blank applications. Alongside your CV, attach the link to your GitHub in your CV. That's something else that we tend to omit. Attach the link, like when you have your email, you can have the link to your GitHub also attached to it. That's a very fine way of projecting yourself to supervisors or professors. Yep. And also, using ChatGPT, I think I would speak more to preparing applications with AI. I don't do much of searching with AI because, believe me, I feel like there are people that have done that work for us on groups, so many platforms, so many graduate platforms that I personally, I don't think I want to go through that stress to start searching for schools. Information is everywhere. People have done that work for me. So all I just do is use AI to prepare my applications. Yes. And well, during search, I think why we get more generic answers using ChatGPT, Gemini, and other platforms is because you don't give it a, should I say, pretext. Anybody that wants to use ChatGPT, the first thing that comes to your mind is, give me a list of universities. That's the first thing that would naturally come to someone's mind to check on ChatGPT. And that is why it gives a generic answer. But if you give it a pretext, you tell it, oh, I am a vet, I'm a veterinarian, this is what I do. You give it like something to work on. it narrows the search for you. It's not giving you something broad. It's simplifying it. Let it know. Talk to it like you are talking to your friend. This is what I've do. This is what I've worked with professor in so topics. I've done this. I've done that. Kindly help list universities that do something related to this. You would realize that your search is narrowed to your immediate need. You don't have to. Most times when you do that, you don't have to start prompting it a third time, a fourth time. No, it gives you something close to what you actually need. So I feel like we need to give it like a pretext. Let it introduce yourself to, introduce yourself to ChatGPT. Let ChatGPT know who you are. Then from there, you can go ahead and ask questions. So I think I'll speak more to preparing applications, probably in the next discussions. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That is a very nice way to conclude this section. I think I agree with Anne, what Anne said. Give a pretext. So, Kelechi, I will hand over to you so that you can round this section up. Thank you to all our panelists for agreeing to join. It's not easy. It's a short notice. I hope you're going to be joining us for the next session. So this is a hot topic and we have a lot of people who want to learn. And I'm very glad that you're willing to use your time to help those who are back home. Kelechi.
Okay. Yeah, I want to begin by saying thank you, Prof, for being available for this series. It's looking exciting so far, and hopefully we'll continue this, series, and then we'll send out information about the next time we'll be having the second part of this series. So thanks to Prof, thanks to John, thanks to FJ, thanks to Dr. And we're very grateful. So if you're still connected online, please check the chats. We have links to our LinkedIn page. The recording of the video will be posted on the YouTube page, which the link is also in the chat. And then if you want to join any of the 3 WhatsApp groups, the links are also there in the chat. So I hope it's been a really insightful session for everyone. So keep following updates on the group and on the pages, and then we'll post about the next series pretty soon. So thanks everyone for joining, and good luck with your applications. Share your testimonies too in the groups if when they come up. We're wishing everybody the best. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.